which means it's time for Clarion Connection with Ron Wilshire. Good morning, Ron.
Morning, Steve. How's your week been?
It has been a good week so far.
A good week. Still racing around in circles.
Yes.
Or watching them race around.
Yeah, pretty much watching and talking. It's like I don't ever stop doing this.
Yeah. Probably record you when you're sleeping, and
I would be afraid to hear what I say. At night.
It may surface sometime. It may surface. Welcome to Clarion Connection. I'm Ron Wilshire, and my guest today is John Miller, owner of Artfunkles in downtown Clarion. Welcome on board. Just wanted to talk with John, since he has a window on Main Street, on what's going on in his store and what's going on in downtown Main Street.
The store is doing very well, Ron. Thank you for asking. Now, I noticed you guys didn't ask me how my week's been going.
How has your week been going, John?
It's been going strong. That's a pun. Week, strong. See, you work with me here, man. It's been a strong week. The week has been very good. We're doing a lot of sales, which for us means we sell one or two things a day, but that's pretty outstanding for us because we run kind of an anti-business, as you probably know. People come in and I often discourage them from purchasing things that they really can't afford. So it's kind of an anti-business model, but I'm very successful at being unsuccessful.
Well, that's... That would be some interesting books. And speaking of books, you sell a lot of old books in there now, too.
We sell a lot of old books. We started out as a store, of course, that specialized primarily in local artist creations, arts and crafts, and we still do that. That's really the foundation for Artfunkle. In addition to that, about, I'm going to say a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, we started selling used books, and that's really become kind of our bread and butter. That's what really kind of floats us and helps us to pay the rent to the extent we do pay the rent. But we're doing well. Books are great, and, both my business partner Joe and I are actually writers. He's got a book out that he just published, and I have a book coming out in October from a press in New Orleans. And so come in. Those will be available for sale. We will probably do some readings from some of our own individual original works. So yeah, books. We're all about books. I mean, Artfunkle is, the word funkle is an Artfunkle, and that's what it's all about. Artfunkle is about fun. It's a place you come just to relax and get away from the hustle and bustle of your ADD life, because we're kind of contrary. Not only are we contrary to the current business model, but we're contrary to ADD because we go with the SUBTRACT plan. So everybody else has ADD, and we go with subtract. Now, there's a little spelling test here. I understand it's early in the morning, but
it is early. You want to explain?
Well, I can't really
slow down a little bit.
I have my Michelle's coffee here. A little plug from Michelle's. A free coffee, please. So maybe that's what's speeding me up here in the morning, or it's just me. It's been a fast morning already. I've been up for a few hours. Where are we at here? 8:30. Wow, it's the middle of the day for me. I'm
the middle of the day.
Riser. Yeah.
Who's running the store?
We don't open till 10, Ron. Because yes, we are at this point in time.
Get up and work on the books.
Get up and work on the books. If our fiscal books are what you're referring to, there's not much work involved there. There's a lot of red lines, and a lot of subtractions going on because we have debits and bills going out, and as I say, the income coming in is somewhat minimal, but we like it that way because I don't have to count that high when I count out our cash.
So you don't have attention deficit disorder, huh?
I have SUBTRACT. Who everybody else is adding, I'm subtracting. I'm just trying to chill, trying to be slower, trying to move slower. This is me slow. See,
this is you slow. Yeah. Well, we'll slow it down in post production. On the books, do you accept donations? Do you buy old books?
Yeah, we accept donations. Initially, when we started selling used books, was a suggestion made to us by a friend, and coincidentally and synchronistically, another friend of mine had retired and moved out of the area and had a collection of books that he gave to us. So we were purchasing books at that point. Frankly, now we're not paying for books because there are just so many coming in the door. We're almost a clearinghouse. We'll take books that we think have some saleability. The rest will act as a caveat to bring books either to the library, to donate, or to the Goodwill. So we do take books. You're welcome to bring us books and give them to us, and we will take care of those books. But we're not currently paying for books now.
We had Dan Parker a few weeks ago on the show from the Clarion Library, and we were just talking about the turnover of books, and we were also talking about how they're going to be offering a service to download digital books, on Kindle or whatever in the near future. I was just wondering how has that business impacted something like you do?
Well, it's impacted us in the way you would expect. As an anti-business, we start selling books when everybody buys a Kindle. See, that's the way we do things because we know it's the absolutely wrong thing to do. So it keeps our anti-business, low-income paradigm kind of consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, has it impacted us? I mean, not really. We're so new at the used book game that we don't really have a baseline to compare to. So having said that, we're selling books, and as you know, I mean, people are always going to love books. There are some people going to love the feel of a book. Books have a nostalgic value to a lot of us. And the Kindle is, it's its own tool. Everything is a tool, of course, and people use it for what it's intended for, but also as a convenience. I mean, my wife is an avid reader, is an academic, and she was kind of like, I'm never going to get a Kindle, and then she finally did. For traveling, you don't want to lug a lot of books around. Of course, it's very, very convenient. So I don't know, I can't speak to in terms of impact because we're so kind of off the grid in terms of the way we look at fiscal realities that I don't really know how to compare. We're selling fewer books because Kindles exist. I guess simply put is that. Do I want to sell more books? It's all good. Whatever we sell is what we sell, and
right.
I'm happy with it.
Well, it almost seems like reading is increasing with the number of different options for people.
I think that's a very good point. And, though I don't have statistics, of course, on that, I would believe that's true, that Kindle is actually a positive tool in terms of reading. And so like any technology, as I say, I don't want to keep referring back to the same thing, but it's a tool, and it's how you use it, and it's a tool that I think has been very constructive in terms of getting people to read more. So, yeah.
Well, it's also enabled a lot of people to publish,
that's true.
whether it's an ebook or
right.
it's very easy to get a printed book. I know your partner there, Joe Okipinti, has a book, and you said you have a book coming out?
I have a book coming out, yeah. It's a press in New Orleans, and, as with a lot of things, part of it is who you know, but I have a friend who's a poet. He's been there since the early 80s, and he publishes a small press publication, and I have over the years published a lot of short stories and poems in his periodical, and he sent it on to a friend of his who really, for inexplicably liked my work a lot, and he's a publisher. He's a publisher, has a press in New Orleans called Lavender Inc., and so they're doing a collaborative publication in October, and it'll be coming out. What Else Do You Want is the title, so look for it on your Amazon, whatever.
Oh, I thought you said it was called Commando or something.
Commando? No, that's your book, Ron.
Oh, it's
No.
My book yet to be written.
Yes, your book yet to be written. What Else Do You Want is the title, which is one of the pieces in the book. I write in a variety of styles. I mean, I do some performance poetry, slam poetry stuff. I've written a couple of novels that, this is kind of an absurd thing to say, but I don't really want them to be read except for people I give them to. I mean, I don't want to put them out there that anybody can read, and that's kind of an absurd thing to say in some respects, but not. I mean, there's a personal thing to those books to me, and I don't want everybody just looking at them and commenting on them and giving me their 2 cents.
So if you put it on sale in your store, then they'll be safe?
Well, yes, very good point, Ron. Are you looking for a job? You're hired. No, those novels will never be in my store. I mean, they'll never be there as something that anybody can just buy. I mean, there'll be books that I kind of, in my own perspective, I gift to people, then let them read. Now, my short stories are very different. That's what's coming out in October. Those are very accessible, I think. I guess you'd use the term creative nonfiction because they're based on things that have actually happened to me, but they're fictionalized. I mean, they're augmented some and changed a little bit, but they're basically this particular collection of stories is actually about my family. They're family stories with, again, some embellishment, but generally speaking, pretty straight on what happened.
Now, you also have old record albums there too, don't you?
We are the vinyl capital of Clarion County. How about that? I just realized that this very second. We have a tremendous array of vinyl. Now, unfortunately, I don't really have a way to tell what kind of condition they're in, other than an obvious just looking at it and eyeballing. We had a turntable a while ago, and it kind of deconstructed and wasn't working. So I went to Goodwill, and they happened to have one. I bought it. And so this is an indication of probably we shouldn't go in that direction. I put a record on it. It sounded good. I put it in the back of our store. I went up front. Pretty soon I'm smelling smoke. I go back, and there are flames leaping from this is no negative reflection on Goodwill, by the way, which is my favorite store. But this is because they honored it when I brought it back and said, this isn't supposed to catch on fire, is it? They're like, no, that's not supposed to happen. And I had a receipt even. And
they do sell new ones.
They do?
Yeah.
Ron, you're blowing my mind here. They sell new turntables.
Yeah,
wow.
Sure.
Well, we're looking, because we are accepting books as gifts, we'd like a turntable. If somebody would bring in a turntable and give it to me, I will reluctantly, but with all graciousness, accept your kind offer. So anybody out there?
Well, you heard it first here on AM 13 and C93. Artfunkles is accepting turntables.
We are the Turntable Central.
But actually, I was reading and heard that some of the newer artists are releasing vinyl copies because just as people prefer to read books, with actual pages and things, some people prefer the sound of vinyl, and they're, in limited release, they are releasing new albums on vinyl.
Yeah, I've heard that too, Ron. I'm sure you're right about that. It's like whatever the Post new is old. How's that? That doesn't make any sense. But I mean, turntable, and again, we're getting back to like books. I mean, the feel of the record, and there's a nostalgia value for some of us who are a little bit older, and we relate to what vinyl was back in our day and whatever high school days, college days.
And you could actually read the covers.
You can read and the covers are artwork. That doesn't tend to be the case with CDs, and certainly, with iPod. I mean, there is no cover. There's no visual connection, at least that I'm aware of. We have. I don't want to say kids, but younger people often come into our store and will buy vinyl. They'll buy records, and they don't care about the record. They want the cover, something to put on their wall, etc. And you have R. Crumb and all these kind of like great artists who actually did a lot of work with covers back in the 60s and 70s. So I think you're right. That's a strong thing. It's post-trendy, I guess. I mean, I know vinyl was in for a while, maybe 10 years ago in more urban areas. Things trickled to Clarion. They're kind of popular here. We don't sell a lot, and we sell them at a very reasonable price. Most of our records are like $6 or less. Some of them that are more collectible we sell for a little more. I mean, our basic policy, price structure-wise, is we'll look online to what the lowest price is for an object, and we'll undersell that. So, I mean, you can buy online, and you can say, I'm going to go online because it's so much cheaper. Well, literally, you're going to be spending more, and you're going to be waiting for it. I mean, we come in, we have a tactile sensation at our store. You look at the product, you feel the product, and if it doesn't work, you bring it back, and I'll exchange it for you. No questions asked. We'll ask you a question, like, what's your name?
Oh, you keep a register of their names?
We keep a dossier on everyone who comes through the door. Be very afraid. Don't come to Artfunkle. It's the anti-advertising model. I'm continuing on from the anti.
You're not a front for the Homeland Security or anything?
No, but I think we may be the back of Homeland Security, so it's somewhere along the line. My name is John Miller, and for like months and years, actually, every time I go...
Is it your real name?
That's my real name. Okay. Yeah, I think. I don't know. That's what they tell me it is. But for a long time, every time we go to the airport, my wife and I, they would wand me and take me aside, and they would ask me a lot of questions and take my license in the back room. And I was like, I don't mind this because I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm not a terrorist. And I want the plane to be safe. But why do you always check me? And they said, because of your name. There's another John Miller out there who's a terrorist. It's like, John Miller? Come on. It's like there's 811 John Millers probably in Clarion County. That's not statistically
Think how John Smith feels.
Poor John Smith. He was in the room next to me. They were actually using the batons and testing the tasers on him, so thank God I wasn't John Smith.
Right. It's a good thing you just had vinyl and not CDs.
Wow, Ron, once again, unintentionally, I did the right thing. That rarely happens.
Right. So you originally started with... showing off artists' wares, whether it be paintings or even jewelry.
Yeah, and we still do that. I mean, I'm not suggesting we don't do that anymore. That's become one compartment of what we do rather than the entirety of what we do. Local artists, they're wonderful artists in Clarion County, many more than most of us, myself included, realize. They didn't have a set location, a hub to try and sell their works from, and that's what we became. And we're a community space to a large extent. We're very intertwined with the nonprofit Clarion County Arts Council. So, I mean, a lot of what we do, we have artists come in who are associated with the Arts Council, and they can sell their work through us. In fact, if there are artists out there and you'd like to try and sell your work, bring it on in. We have a consignment system, or sometimes we buy things outright. Generally, with artwork, we do a consignment, so you would get a percentage, we would get a percentage, etc. But we're very supportive of arts and creativity and free thinking in general.
So it'd be a good place also for gifts, too.
It's an excellent place for gifts. Anybody can bring me a gift anytime they want. Oh, you meant to purchase gifts. Yes.
Have you had many people come and bring you gifts?
Once, but they were at the wrong place. They were looking for John Smith, and they stumbled on John Miller.
Yeah.
He was a Homeland Security guy, in fact. Now
he had a gift for you.
But, you're welcome to bring me gifts.
Beware of Homeland Security.
I will accept gifts. Without much question asked. You can also buy gifts there. You can bring me a gift, and you can buy that same gift back from me if you'd like. I mean, that might be a good system for us.
Do you re-gift your gifts?
Not really. No, I'm not really a re-gifter. Now, usually what I do is I lose the gift or I break it unintentionally. But I will accept your gift graciously, as I say.
Now, do you wrap your gifts there?
No. I mean, I will give you a rap if you'd like, but it's all verbiage and verbal rap. I can't really rap.
Right.
I'm rap challenged. I usually, I apologize to people because it takes me a few minutes just to get the product in a bag because I have problems with that. So
Really?
yeah. So, but generally they step in and they intervene. They help me. Or counting change, I'm a little difficult.
I thought being a slam poet that was somehow related to rap.
Well, that's exactly what I'm suggesting. I would give you a rap regarding your purchase, but to actually place it in a material rap, I would have some difficulty with that.
Okay, I think we'll wrap up this first section of Clarion Connection. We'll join you again in a few minutes.
Where do you find new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs with all the best prices clearly marked?
SeidelChevy.com.
Where do you find a quality collision center where our work is guaranteed for a full year and we are affiliated with most major insurance companies?
SeidelChevy.com.
Where do you find a Chevy dealer who has been selling and servicing Chevys for 80 years?
SeidelChevy.com.
Where do you find a dealer with new Chevys, Buicks, and GMCs all in one place?
SeidelChevy.com and on Route 322 in Clarion.
When it comes to family thrills with an exciting twist, nothing beats a day at Kennywood. With everything from coasters and classics to kiddie rides and shows, there's something fun for everyone. And coming this season, Black Widow, spinning a web of pulse-pounding exhilaration that will test your courage. Get more Kennywood for less. Save $11 on weekday tickets at Giant Eagle and treat your family to a great day at Kennywood. Now open.
I'll have the grilled cheese, please.
Hot or cold?
Hot isn't grilled hot.
We're still looking to hire a cook for the summer season, so cold?
But your name is Hot Grilled Cheeseria.
Yeah, I can give you bread and cheese, and you can try grilling it on your exhaust manifold.
Don't be stuck without a chef or any other seasonal employee you need. Log on to ClarionVenangoHelpWanted.com.
You know, if you have heated seats, you could sit on it and have a panini.
Okay.
Post as many jobs as you like in minutes and use as many words as you want for one low price. ClarionVenangoHelpWanted.com. Long name, amazing results. Ms. Munchler, would you file these documents, please?
Oh, okay, after I take your temperature.
Why are you a receptionist?
Well, because I couldn't find a nursing job.
Then why didn't you go online and check out ClarionVenangoHelpWanted.com?
Okay, sir, take off your shirt and I'll take your blood pressure.
They have hundreds of local jobs, hospital, sales, IT. Oops, sorry. She's just...
Ooh, your blood pressure just went sky high.
Oh, boy.
Okay, I'm going to need a specimen. Take this...
Get out! ClarionVenangoHelpWanted.com. Long name, amazing results.
These are tough economic times. Wall Street failures and bailouts have created a lot of uncertainty. We're not a Wall Street bank, we're a community bank. We're Main Street people, not Wall Street people. We're rated one of the nation's strongest banks, rock solid, safe, and conservative. Make the strong move back to Main Street. Bank with us. Clarion County Community Bank, member FDIC. You've got a strong bank behind you.
St. Joseph's Parish in Lucinda will host its 73rd annual 4th of July celebration from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. The event features their famous all-you-can-eat chicken and ham dinners, including homemade pies and soup with those amazing homemade noodles. The dining room is serving from 11 to 3 p.m. and takeouts will be available until 2 p.m. Dinner tickets go on sale at 10 a.m. that morning and cost us $7.50 for adults, $3.50 for children 6 to 12, and children under 6 are free. Other festivities include games of skill and chance for all ages, bingo, booths, refreshments, and live entertainment. Over $35,000 in cash and prizes will be awarded throughout the day, including 25 homemade quilts and a $5,000 grand prize. The festival will be held rain or shine and is canopy covered and handicap accessible. The parish grounds are located at 112 Rectory Lane along Route 66 in Lucinda. For more information, Google St. Joseph Lucinda or call 226-7288. All proceeds benefit St. Joseph Catholic School. Come celebrate with us.
Welcome back to Clarion Connection. I'm Ron Wilshire, and my guest today is John Miller from Artfunkles in downtown Clarion. We've just been talking about what John has to offer at his store, and wanted to talk a little bit about Main Street itself. And your location over the years has been many different things. I remember it was a barber shop at one time. You don't do any barbering, right?
No, I just coincidentally though, funny you should mention that because I got a haircut yesterday. And just for those who don't know, they got this great deal going. All the barbers are doing this now. You go in for a haircut, they'll cut them all for the same price. It's really, I think, outstanding. outstanding, and maybe some people aren't aware of that when they go in and get a haircut. Our window on Main Street Clarion is a vibrant space, I think. And I have to say, I've lived here for 17 years now. I moved here from upstate New York. And when I came here, as many people do, university related, my wife teaches at the college. When we got here, I said to her, this town, we're seeing this town before it becomes the rest of America. And what I mean by that is the town I came from was very much an industrial city in the Northeast. What happened is, as the industry failed, it was a shoe factory town. Downtown started getting boarded up, and businesses were closing. When we got here, I said, this place is still vibrant. This still seems to have an active downtown. Now, not to necessarily cast any aspersions on our fine brothers at Walmart, but I said this town does not have a Walmart yet. When Walmart comes in, what happened in my town is that literally that was the last. That sucked the last of the life out of downtown. And sure enough, Walmart several years later did come to the area. As I suggested when I came here, there was no Walmart, but it didn't happen. I mean, downtown remained vibrant. There's a lot of loyalty, I think, a purchase loyalty here in Clarion, and I think that's admirable, and I think that's unique in the parts of America I've seen. Downtown is, I think, a great space to come to. Now, what continually stuns me is there doesn't seem to be a strong integration between the university students and the downtown community, which I went to a school, Geneseo, New York, which was much like Clarion demographically. I mean, there was a city of about 6,000, primarily rural. It was the county seat. There were another 6,000 students at the university. But we always went downtown. Now I'm often doing volunteer stuff with students at Clarion University, and I'll find out they've never really been to downtown at all. And I think, well, what are you, a freshman? They're like, no, I've been here 4 years. I said, well, where do you go? Well, we go home to buy stuff. And I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, I guess there's a comfort zone to going back home and going to your local mall. But, there are actually people and personalities involved in the businesses downtown, and that's worth exploring, too. That's worth more than saving 2 cents, to get something made by some kid chained in a basement in China, okay?
You don't have anything that was made by a kid chained to
We do have some things. We do want to keep a balance there. We have sweatshops all throughout Sligo where we chain kids up and we make them work under the lash of a whip. Oh, I'm not Sligo now. I'm sorry, Sligoians. I have no negative feelings towards Sligo. Let's just say in the area in general. No, we like to
an undisclosed location.
Undisclosed location. In the back of Artfunkle, there are invisible little gnomes that go around there and they make our products for us. But you won't see them because, as we discussed earlier, they're invisible.
But I think the personalities downtown do help make it. Although with the university, times have changed. I notice a lot more people do go home, and but the personalities downtown, just on your block alone, you have George Shirey, who has tons and tons of interesting wisdom, and it's interesting. He competed with Walmart by offering different things than Walmart offers. And I think over the years, and then Michelle's, that's something different. A dance studio, if you're taking lessons, a Christian bookstore, and there's always been some kind of bank recently on the corner of it. And next to you is the old, it says Cutter's Pool Hall, but it used to be the Garby Theater. And there are some people that are interested in trying to resurrect it or have some type of arts facility there.
Yeah, there's some move in that direction. That would be wonderful. But as you're suggesting earlier, though, a lot of the businesses downtown Clarion, like a lot of towns, are personality-driven. I mean, it's not just about the product and not just about the saving the 2 cents. It's about, the interaction you're getting. I mean, George is a classic example. I mean, he's a great neighbor, and he's a guy, if something goes wrong, he'll replace it for you. You're not going to have to go through some bureaucracy of sales slips and, who sold this and blah, blah, blah. I mean, they'll take care of you. And also, as you're suggesting wisdom, George is just great. Just hang out and talk to the guy. I mean, I hope he's not listening to this because I don't want to give him a positive plug because I was just teasing him this morning. So let's keep it on the negative side with George. But George is great. George is great. And
I've asked him many times to be on this radio show.
And he won't do it, huh?
He won't do it. He's very shy, about going out publicly.
Yeah.
Although he's not shy in the store.
Right, exactly. Sometimes you wish he would be, but no, I'm being facetious. George is the king. And then, Michelle's there's a personality there to the space. I mean, and you're not going to get that. I mean, at Starbucks, you might get that. Again, and not to specifically knock Starbucks, but Starbucks as a general kind of a symbol of a corporate, multinational. I mean, the people there are real individuals. They're good people. They're working there. They're doing what we all do. I mean, they're just trying trying to make a living. Managers there, they're good people. But, there's an overriding sensibility of conformity that comes with that kind of buying into a chain. And you don't have that at Michelle's. You don't have that at George's. At Artfunkle, we have no personality, so we do what we do. We're off the grid of all of that stuff. But see, I guess, just spinning it to kind of a focal point here, the bottom line to Artfunkle is fun. You come in there to chill out and have a good time. I don't care if you buy anything. I don't care, man, about any of that stuff. You come in, you hang out, and we'll talk.
Are copies of your business plan available at the Small Business Development Center?
They're in anti-print matter. They're going to the press right now, but I can't.
It's on e-book.
I have to find them first. Yeah, they're e-booklets. Yeah.
E-booklets.
Yeah, our plan is basically, I'll give you an example. If a customer comes in and they start hemming and hawing over buying a product and say, I don't think I can afford this, I say, then you can't have it. If you can't afford it, you shouldn't be buying it. We live in such a consumer culture that everybody needs everything. You need all this junk. You don't really need that, You need to get in touch with yourself is what you need to do. So, I don't really care about any of that. But don't be wasting your money on a lot of crap to fill up, a garbage bin around your house or turn your house into a garbage bin with unnecessary material possessions. That's my statement on that. So, I forget what the question was. Where am I again?
I don't know. I'm sort of speechless. I
haven't had that problem lately.
Yeah. So why would anyone want to go into your store?
I just said fun. Do you like to have fun, or do you like to have a lot of junk to carry around?
You don't have a cover charge or anything.
No. We have some wonderful tapestries though. They can be used as covers, as bed covers. So there's a literal interpretation of all the linguistics we're going through here, the linguistic gymnastics, as you were. But
okay.
Yeah, we don't have a cover charge. If you want to leave, we charge you for that. So that's usually people are willing to pay a lot of money to get away from me. So
okay, you have a lot of different rooms in that place, I recall.
Not as many as you might think. And in fact, since you mentioned that, coincidentally, we're expanding the basement into some work and craft space that's going on now. So we have, you come in, it's pretty much open. You step into the back room. If you come in late afternoon, after I've had my lunch, usually I'm lying on the couch watching bad television. So you might have to wake me up, but that's okay. Now, oftentimes I do go to the coffee shop to get a coffee, and I kind of get hung up there talking to people. But I don't lock our door. So all you thieves out there, be aware of this. This is a good opportunity for you. Use your initiative. But I'll come back to the store, and there'll be customers wandering around. And they're like, oh, we didn't know if anybody was here. And I was like, well, there wasn't anybody here, but I'm here now. And so then I say, well, did you shoplift anything? And they're like, no. And I said, well, geez, kids don't have any initiative anymore. They don't even shoplift when you give them an opportunity. Kind of a sad statement on the current youth of America, isn't it?
Right. You probably don't even steal this book.
Steal this book got stolen.
Okay.
But yeah, people come in, and it's a place to hang out, as I say. That's basically the thing. As I'm at the coffee shop, and they'll say, like, are your doors wide open? You've been here 10 minutes. I say, I better hurry back. They're like, yeah, somebody might steal stuff. No, people come in, they look around, they feel so sorry for us. They leave stuff there. So I have to hurry back just to clear a space that I can walk through. So we have an anti-shoplifter model.
That's
also.
How you get the gifts.
That's how we get the free books. See, people come in, they leave stuff with us.
Well, do you offer gift cards there?
We have gift cards, yeah. I have to handwrite them for you because I don't really know how to use my printer. I'm technologically challenged, as well as in so many other areas.
Yes. Do you have a lot of people coming in there, feeling sorry for you, or?
Not really, but I can. When they talk to me for a little while, they move into that direction. They don't come in feeling sorry, but they leave feeling really sorry.
Right. Any plans to expand your non-business?
Yeah, well, actually, we do a lot of activities. We do a lot of community space. One thing we're going to do is we're going to be showing movies. We have an enclosed back area, outdoor movies throughout the summer. Now, I'm
wait a minute. The back of your store is like an alley.
No, there's a closed-in area. So you've never been there, obviously, Ron.
I've been in.
You haven't stepped out the back.
Outside.
Outside? You have to check it out. There's an enclosed area, nice grassy area.
Okay, I thought maybe you were showing them on the wall the high-rise there.
That's a possibility, but there'll be a private enclosed area. We've had music and poetry readings and things like that before. I'm traveling a lot this summer, so there's not a consistency to that film series, but we'll probably be doing one within the next couple of weeks, so keep an eye out.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for joining us. Any departing words for Clarion Connection?
Just go out and have a good day today, okay? It's a beautiful day out. Don't be complaining, okay? Just go and have a good time.
Well, I think you've heard from probably the most unusual businessman in downtown Clarion, John Miller, if that's his real name, from Artfunkles in Clarion. You've been listening to Clarion Connection.